Hello, everyone. How you doing today? This is Ronnie Hart Pickers. That guy over there with the black with the Selena fetish. Chad Golden Finger Picker. How are you doing today, Mr. Chad?
Doing good, dude. I am freaking beat. Don't know why. I woke up this morning with the greatest intentions.
Dude, you've been watching that kid all day. The baby, the
Yeah.
kid. Say it like it's some job or something.
Well, no, Katie, Logan had to go to work. So Katie took Elias to Pensacola for his third casting for his legs. As soon as they got back, Katie, Addie, and Kim went to town to take Mac to the vet. Well, that left me with Elias. And oh my goodness, I just felt he was in so much discomfort, man. I felt so bad. And I'm calling saying he won't stop crying. So it's been a rough day. Uh, and it wears you out, wears you out. So I got nothing done today.
I had to go up. I had to pick up two friends that came into town in Boston. We had to be there by 10. I thought, oh, leave at 8:30. I'll a little bit of traffic will be fine. I almost like we just got there. Like it was kind of like, oh, we just got here, like just in time for them. I think we were there like 10 minutes early. But if I didn't hit the like express lane, I would have been I would have been an hour late. That traffic was heavy, but I'm
Yeah.
tired. I just didn't sleep last. I ate something last night. It did not agree with me. And I stayed up late listening too. It's like I kind of got into I had all the drafts. So I'm just going there, putting the photos in and doing my thing. And then all of a sudden it's like,
Well, that's
oh,
something cool to touch on because, as you know, I went through this spell, man. I was up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was getting it up at like 11 or 12, right? You remember that? I mean, it's been recently. And, as a reseller, you set your own times and you do all that stuff. Well, I had to get up one morning and go to the eye doctor. I had to be there at 8. So I went to bed early and then got up uh, early. And then I've been on that system. So it takes me one day to make a big change when it comes to changing my schedule around. I mean, I don't know anybody in the chat. Are you able to change your schedule like that, or does it take you several days to get used to either going to bed late and then all of a sudden going to bed early and getting up late, getting up early? Is it a big change for you, or does it happen pretty easy for you as well?
now that the wife is home, when the wife wasn't home, I don't know what I was doing. Like I was into this habit of going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, and waking up at like 10, 11. I was like, well, what am I doing? I wouldn't do this if my wife was here. And then all of a sudden, as soon as she came home, that was done. Now I go to bed 11, 12, the latest. Usually I'm up 7, 8. I get my good 7 hours.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I can't lay. I just lay in bed and I'm playing freaking stupid games on the phone trying to fall asleep, or I'm start searching eBay looking for things to buy. It's another
Yeah,
bad thing. Be like, oh,
yeah.
I'm doing this from my phone. And then I'll save a bunch of things and look back at them in the morning because half the time I'm like half asleep. I don't want to buy something and misread it or something.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Yeah, I do some crazy. Remember Jeff Davidson, man? He used to get up and because he take Ambien, he used to text us and just all kinds of jibber jabber. It's like, dude, I'd hate to live in the same house as that guy,
I
but it
just
was
seen he started
funny.
making videos the other day.
Yeah, yeah, good guy.
And then what else? Yeah, that's about it. So I mean, we'll get into our topic. I think we're a few minutes in. We could start.
Yeah, it looks like we've got about 4,000 live viewers now. Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with us. I think
Hell
you're
yeah.
setting a record there, Ronnie.
4,000?
4,000 live viewers. Damn.
Gonna shut down YouTube today.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna be watching that and think, there is no way in hell they got 4,000 live viewers. This is messed up. They must be cheating or something.
I wonder if you could buy live viewers.
I don't know.
We'll buy some views from a third world country.
Yeah. That's
Gretchen,
funny.
get your family to watch the Latino. She got enough family members.
Oh, that's funny.
There's probably a few of
That's
them.
funny.
If you're related to my wife's family in the chat, say hello. They always
Dude.
watch. They help me out with certain things. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, they're all nobody, there's 4,000 live viewers, but they're just not commenting. So if you're one of those folks that not commenting, just say a simple hello or a hi so we can acknowledge you, and we appreciate you, all 4,022 of you right now. And we just want to thank you for coming and hanging out.
So who do you want to start? You want to start or me start? You want to flip a coin? I don't got a coin.
Well, I mean, we can open it with like, yard season is coming up, everybody. So we're going to go over some of the things that we do to prepare for yard sale season. We're going to be talking about some of the things we do during yard sale season and some of the methods and means that we think are important to consider. And I mean, you can apply them to what you do, or you can take it under consideration. But either way, this is what we think, and I hope there's something to be learned. But a lot of this will be a repeat because we typically talk about this once a year. But you can go first, Ronnie.
Well, you know what I hate? I'll talk about one thing I hate about yard sale. I hate community yard sales with a passion.
Most people love them.
People talk about it. People say they look for them. For the most part, I mean, I'll go to them, but I'm not really a big fan. I'll tell you the reason why. Because most of the time at community yard sales, it's just like everybody on the block. Oh, we're gonna have a sale today. They put their stuff out, and most of the time they're overpriced, or it's like you get that random people that just put out a few things, and then the whole area. At least where we are, when there's a community yard sale, traffic, like not the traffic, but trying to park your vehicle, get out, move around, becomes very like just like oh, I rather just go to one sale, go to another area, like sales I pick out. There's certain like neighborhoods and stuff like that I like to go through, and I kind of have the same, areas that I look for sales, and I go from there. Sometimes I'll go a different route. Like if one route is not paying off, like, for a few weeks in a row, like I'm like, oh, that area is not paying off. I'll change it up and go to a different area. I've driven 20, 30 miles just to go to a different area to go, okay, I'm going over here today, or, I'm going to go over this way, just change it up. I mean, and sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it's like, oh, they start getting mad if that day doesn't work out too well. You don't get mad, but you get disappointed. You're like, you start thinking like, oh, did I waste too much time?
Well, I think the community yard sales are just like everything else. A lot of people look forward to certain communities having their yard sales. And it doesn't always have to be the ritzy neighborhoods, but I know that there's one here that I don't consider it ritzy at all, but there's always really good stuff. Rudy, where's Rudy? It's not Ruby, it's Rudy. I have to put him up there because Addie loves him and she carries him around by his neck. Yeah, so
good thing it's not a real bear.
I pulled it down twice today for her to play with. So, but yeah, it all depends. Yes, Pete has Ruby. I have Rudy. Yeah.
Uh,
Glenn Swamp Pickers looking for some prayers. His dad's having surgery this week. Absolutely, buddy. We will definitely. What's his first name?
I guess
But yeah, you can't end it with something you hate. You got to give us something. Mike. Mike is his name. Absolutely.
send some prayers for Mike. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, yard sales.
Yeah. You went first and you gave something you hate. So you got to give something
Yeah.
positive now.
Well, another thing I do is on Thursday, because I go out usually yard sales Friday and Saturday. I kind of actually love Fridays because not as many people can go out Fridays. So it's like, hey, you're not fighting that, but there's less yard sales too. What I hate sometimes is I forget and I'll write down when I'm doing my planning, I'll pick the same one that I was to the sale the day before. And I'm going down the street and I'm like, same sale again? Or you'll stop at one like out of the blue that you've just seen on route, or it pops up on the app. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, the blue, and it's like, oh, where did you come from? But I always go to the bank Thursday. Usually, I try to go Thursdays to the bank and try to get a bunch of different bills just to have money on me. Like I usually take like I don't know, I've took like $800 out if I think there's enough stuff. Like if I see like 30, 40 yard sales, which is not uncommon, I'll make sure I have enough money, but I'll make sure I have a bunch of 20s. Like I don't carry anything bigger than 20s usually. And then I'll have like usually $200 of smaller bills, like tens, fives, ones, like 21s, maybe, $50 and fives, just because you don't want to be that person trying to chew somebody down from $10 to $5, and then they agree, and then you're giving them a 20 or something. It's like, they agree to it, but a lot of times, sometimes,
Yeah.
especially early on too, if you're like one of the first few people, a lot of people, they do not have any change for a yard sale. It's like they're like, huh, what? You don't have exact change? It's like, oh. It's kind of like when I worked at the restaurant. We only had $100 in the register. That guy coming in with coffee in the morning, trying to break $100 bill. You're like shaking your head, going, "Seriously?"
Yeah. Let me ask everybody in the chat because I want to get a feel of what we have here. If you guys go to a yard sale and you just pay the price that they're asking, put a 1. If you try to negotiate and get the price down, type 2. Let us know. 1, if you just pay what they're asking, and if you don't like the price, you just move on. Or 2, do you try to negotiate a deal? Negotiate the price. 1 or 2. What do you think the results are going to be, Pete? I mean, Ronnie.
First time I've been called that today. I actually called Pete today, trying to call my friend Peter. I was like, oh, wrong person. It was kind of funny. But which one was one? Was one is
You just pay the price. If you don't like that price, then you just move on.
you know what?
Most
I will negotiate people on when things are just kind of like a little too, just a little bit. I don't like negotiating too much. Now, if I'm getting bunch of, I see a bunch of different things, I'll try to bundle stuff together and get a better price.
Yeah.
But especially if it's early in the morning, I see a Nintendo for $10 with a bunch of games. I'm just giving you $10. Like there was a lady a few years ago. We were in another town. I think it was Sandwich, and I grabbed it was one of those Sony sealed, mini cassette players, and it even had the Amazon sticker on the back of it, so I couldn't scan it, but I knew it was money. And she had a sealed printer. I think I paid $15 for both. She had 10 and 5, and I said, "Would you do 10 for both?" She goes, "I know we paid over $200 for that Sony thing." She goes, "I just want it at my house. We're moving." And she was almost willing to take it back and sell it. She was like, "You know what? There's Facebook," and I was just like, "You know what? $15. I'll give you the $15. We don't need,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Well,
kind of just trying to like press your luck. I mean, I think I sold it for 250 on eBay, and I know I sold the printer. The printer was a really nice printer. I think I got like three for the printer. So I was like, okay, how am I even, you know what I mean? Certain times, just walk away and be happy. Don't try to beat somebody up all day.
yeah, yeah. Well, with what I'm seeing, a lot of people saying, well, if it's worth, if it's overpriced, I would. What I'm asking is, you either negotiate or you don't. And there's a lot of people that just flat out do not, regardless. And there's most people I see in here that while they might pay asking price for something, depending on the price, there's a lot of times they'll try to negotiate. Uh, with that being said, and yes, that's most of the people in here, it's really important that if you're going to negotiate, and Ronnie kind of brought this up, it's really important that if you're going to negotiate, have the proper change and have different denominations of money in your different pockets, okay? And know which pocket what's in, because that can be used as a negotiating tactic. Have a $5 bill in one pocket. Under $5, that's really not going to matter, but you have a $5 bill, have, a couple 20s in a back pocket, have $100 in another back pocket, and have a 10 or something in another pocket. And why would you do this? I mean, there's many times that if you go to a yard sale or something, you see one item, they got $10 on it, and you're like, man, I could make $25 on that at $10. And then you can say, pull in your pocket and say, man, I've been hitting these yard sales hard today. I got a $5 bill. Will you take it? 99% of the time, they'll take it unless they're just in love with their stuff. So you just got that item at half off, and so you're going to make that much more money on it. So you really want to, and you never want to talk somebody down. You never want to beat them up and then pull out a wad of cash. I mean, I don't think they would ever back out of it, but it's almost just kind of like throwing it in their face that you just beat them down when you, it's an etiquette, I guess. Yeah.
It just depends on the situation, because I mean, there's times where I've been at a sale and I know I can make money on something, but it depends on, like, I see people and they're hanging around with their kids and they look like they're doing it for money. I'm probably not gonna. I might even, I might buy more just to help people out. Sometimes it's like, oh, I can make good money on this thing. I'll buy a few other things at the same price and just give them the money. And one of my bad points is, and Gretchen will tell you this, I don't look nothing up at yard sales. I just buy, and sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. I very because the few times that I've looked, and we've changed. Last year we did this a few times, where I'd go back to the car, I'd memorize what it was, look it up, and by the time I go back, a few times somebody's already went and picked up the item that I was looking at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It took me a few minutes and it happened with a big GI Joe, like, Space Center thing. I was pissed because I could have probably, I think they wanted like $10, and I remember talking with Dallas Moore, and I'm like, I don't know why I didn't buy it. It could have been $500. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me. Yeah, it was big, but it was just now, if Gretchen's around, I'll tell her to hold on to it, and I'll kind of, if it's something that I really think, or I'll sneak scan it, like turn around with the item, the phone real fast. I don't do it in front of people. I don't think that's, I don't like doing that. Pull out my phone right in front of them. I just think it looks too, like, I don't know. I've been run off of people's yard sales before. They thought I was reselling or something, looking at stuff, trying to look stuff up. They're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You resell it. Like, some people don't like this shit being bought to make money, and then others will tell you this story like, hey, we had this stuff on Amazon, we're getting out of it. I kind of know what the prices are. We'll see. Give us a good price, you can take it all.
Yeah, Thrifty
That's why I
Meister
like carrying
says,
a lot of money with me.
Yeah, Thrifty Meister just says, was at a neighborhood yard sale. Guy had 3 stethoscopes for $10 each. A guy was trying to talk him down to 5 each. I just reached over and handed him the $30 and took them, $225 each. Those must be some crazy stethoscopes because I just got one and it's the top of the line, man. It ain't worth but $30.
I don't even know what a stethoscope
It's
is.
what the nurses and the doctors have. They listen to your heart.
Oh, that's what I thought it was. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't too far off. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to.
Everyone I've ever come across, I'm like, dude, this is brand new in the box. And then I get home and shit, and it's like, really? Disappointed. But
I don't
yeah,
even think
that's
I've ever
great.
seen any. I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
seen any of that.
Well, we're seeing more and more often that people are having yard sales because they need to make bills. Okay. And that's a totally legitimate reason to have a yard sale is to, if you're needing extra money to make a bill or something like that. So, specialty stethoscope for heart murmurs. All the stethoscope does is amplifies the sound, man. I guess it's the ears that dictates whether or not you have a heart murmur or not. But right on, man. Good job. Yeah, I'd love to make 225 on some stethoscopes. I think I've gotten a Lippmann before, brand new, and it wasn't worth crap. There might be some good ones out there, though. I just haven't come across them.
Whose turn is it now? It's your turn, right?
It is my turn. I'm going to go ahead and go with the kit that we keep around, carry with us for reselling in general, not necessarily garage sales. If we go on a pick or anything like that, we always want to have this stuff with us. And it's just a picking kit for their car. And I'll go through some of the items in case you guys haven't seen this stuff before. But we have a loop. Okay. You always want to have a loop if you're blind. And a tape measure. And you ask yourself, why do I need a damn tape measure? Okay. If you have like a Jeep or a pickup or a trunk, you either need to know the opening of your trunk or the opening of your doorways can save you some money, because a lot of times you're like, man, will that fit in my car? Well, hold on a sec. I got to tape measure my car. And then you measure the damn item. Then you measure your opening. Yes, it will fit. So, and you can do the same thing with back door, car doors. You'd be surprised how many people buy things and they have no way to get it home. And they ain't not getting their money back. So that's why we keep a tape measure.
We have a little one we keep on our keychain, and I always,
yeah.
Because when I'm in a thrift store, I'm always interested in, like, if pants look short or something. I'm like, CNC them on that, because I hate buying short pants. I've bought a few pairs before, 25-inch inseam, like
yep,
5-foot person.
We've got our gold, platinum, silver testing kits with the stones, the acids, and we just keep paper towel in there in case you come across gold. Heavy duty magnet, good magnet. A little mini screwdriver in case you have to open the back of a toy or something like that that's got a screw on it. Because a lot of times people at garage sales, they don't have a damn toolbox. They don't even have a damn screwdriver. Marker. A wire brush for rusty gold. You know, you go to a pick sometime, there's might be something rusty and you're trying to read what it's saying. Little wire brush, you scrub it, and you can see what it actually says. We've got several different batteries, watch batteries, laser, you add a bunch of these together, laser batteries. There's a lot of different things that take that. Just a bunch of different size batteries. These are the batteries that go into like the dog collar stuff. Always keep a flashlight. That's a mini mag. Mag light's a good one to keep. Got a little pocket knife. This is a box of AA and AAA batteries. This is a diamond tester.
I think it's
And
funny. I could tell you a story about a diamond tester after this.
and this, you know what this is, Ronnie?
A drill, a laser,
No. Look at it real close.
fire
No.
starter. I don't know, dude.
No, it's the thing that you put in your ears to cut the hair and in your nose.
What you got one of those for, dude? Seriously.
Dude, if you're ever out and Kim says, dude, you got hair growing out your ears or you got hair growing out your nose, I'm like, hey, no problem. I'll get my kit and I'll fix it. So yeah, that's why I carry it. But that's why we have, this is what we have in our kit. And we also have the mini, the scale to measure like very grams and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's what we keep in our car kit, and it's just good to have. Actually, we keep a lighter too, but I had to pull the lighter out because my lighter went out. And we and we also typically keep 2 or 3 20s in there, and I pulled that out a couple weeks ago, so because I needed it. So, but yeah, we always keep some spare money because sometimes you come across something you don't have enough. You just go to the kit, and that's what happened, and I never put it back.
Well, I always carry in the I haven't done it with this truck for whatever reason, but all the vehicles I ever had, for like probably the last 15 years, in the driver's manual in the glove box, I would always have an expired license, a credit card that I don't use, and usually, 20, 30, 40 bucks or something like that, just in case like I've lost my wallet, and I've lost my wallet in the past. Just that if you were traveling or anything like that, you would, not be stranded. But I definitely don't. For some reason, haven't done that.
K-Cat asked, you carry that kit into each sale or just keep it in the car? Yeah, I walk up to each sale. No, it stays in the car. It typically stays in the car. Yeah. Yeah. We actually use it more when we go to picks than we use it at garage sales, really. But I think, yeah, that would be, that'd be a good money maker. We can make some picker kits, and I don't know if anybody buy them, but yeah, I'll make up a picker kit and charge it twice what it's worth, if you want to buy it.
Finger picker kit.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else. Another, I mean, you do this too, is carry business cards around with you. So I always forget to actually leave people with business cards. I don't know why. But just in case I see something, or I see something like every once in a while, I'll see somebody with some signs. I'll be like, yo, you selling any of those? No. I'll give them a card. And sometimes out of the blue, they'll call back or something like that. Or, they'll say they have something. But most of the time, people don't call back, but it's still good to give you a card. Eventually, it's going to pay off.
He was 103 years old. He was in the Battle of the Bulge. Yeah, I think some of the damn World War II vets are going over 100 years old now. Wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. I have to shave the beard soon. The wife is not thrilled with the beard.
Yeah.
Another thing we do too is also we carry 3 totes in the car, 2 to 3 totes. So this was good when we used to have the warehouse, because we throw stuff in there. We put like hard goods in 1 or 2 of them, or dirty things in one. We put the clothing in one separate, so it didn't like bounce all over the car and stuff like that. That way you just pull. When we pull up to the warehouse, we just take the tote out with everything in it, bring it in, put it on the table we used to have for processing and stuff.
Yeah, we use post office totes. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's cool, stock jockey. Let's see. A lot of people say, well, Kim and I have had this. It's been a few years since we've talked about this because Kim dresses for success. She always looks nice when she goes out, whether it's to a garage sale or to a night on the town with me. And I've told her, man, why can't you dress down for yard sales? I mean, I'll show up in my sweats and crap, but I don't know. It's first impression, and a lot of people running yard sales. Well, Kim will still negotiate. She still does a great job at it. It's just, I think, first impression, walking up, getting out of your Corvette or your uh, Porsche or something like that. I mean, I would be leaving that crap at home and driving the pickup truck or the Jeep, you know?
Dude, it's amazing how much your vehicle draws attention to people. Like I didn't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never really had any flashy cars, but the old truck and of course this one, the Expedition I had and the Suburban get like the most crazy attention. They'll see it pull up and they're like, "Oh, what do you got that thing for? Oh, what's that thing drive like? Oh, the Excursion was even worse. Even though it was an older vehicle, people were like always just like enamored about it. And it would start sometimes the conversation. I would talk about how bad it is on gas. There's a V10 and, it would crack some of the, you know. And then we had one guy when I had the Suburban, he was arguing over me over a price of something. He's like, "You're driving a $50,000 truck, dude."
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's like, seriously.
Well, dude, anybody can throw that in your face as a negotiating thing. You're behind the eight ball off the get go automatically. I mean, what are you going to do? Say, yeah, if I can't afford it, it's going to be repoed next week probably. But, I'm just trying to squeak out a living here.
I don't, I mean, it never really happens. Most of the time, it actually people comment about how big it is, and that's about
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, yo, it's for yard sales.
Yeah.
What do you got? And I tell them what I'm interested. One thing I have to say though is I can't say RC cars. For some reason, most people don't understand what RC cars are. They're like, "Oh, I think we have a car, or there's my neighbor got a car for sale." It's like, no, not a car. Radio control. So I got to say radio control cars if they ask anything. Well, one of the stupidest things I always say is get a gold bricks. They look at me like,
Oh, gold bricks. Yeah.
it just depends. Sometimes if you get no response out of the person, you're just like, okay, this guy's weird.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's your turn. You haven't done it yet.
um, Another thing is too when we go out like all day. We go out to like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Like if I write down the times of the sales end and around here, they're usually from like most of the time 8 to 2 or 9 to 3. I will go back, especially if I seen something at a first sale and it was kind of high priced and I knew they weren't really, I maybe talked to them, weren't willing to jump off of it. When I get back to the car, I'll have a list, but I also will use the yard seller app and I'll have it like pointed out, but I'll circle which ones like maybe I'll drive back to on the way back because usually, I make myself a little route, of places to go to. Another thing too is days leading up to a yard sale. I'll start looking like Monday or Tuesday for like Friday and Saturday on Craigslist because that's all the yard sale app does is pull them from Craigslist. And I'll look for like certain things like keywords and stuff like that, and start emailing people even before that, like, "Hey, I seen you have a Nintendo for sale. Would you take early? I got to work Friday. Like, I want it. I can't get there. It'd be a great present for whoever, my brother, my son, whoever." And, sometimes you actually do get people to message you back. Um, so it actually does work. Get stuff before other people do.
Yeah. Well, speaking of gold bricks, if you guys haven't seen Stock Jockey's channel, It's like, oh my gosh, they melt down gold and pour it into gold bars. We're talking, I don't know, $30,000 to $50,000 for a gold bar. Is that right? I'm trying to remember. I think I asked you once how much was one of those gold bars worth, and it's like, holy cow, that's moving some gold. That's bringing people in, and it's just really neat. Yeah, the lady of the bunker. Well, I love her too. I tell you what, she is awesome, and that what I've learned about in watching that, there's a lot more to it than just saying it's gold, because there's different levels of gold and the price per. Because I mean, when we buy, I mean, I understand that, you know, 10 karat gold is a lot less than 24 karat or 18 karat, but I that's about all I know. I don't know what 10 karat means compared to 18 karat. It's a percentage, I think, but you know, I don't know what all that means. And she was talking it, they break it down. I mean, that's a system there. If you guys interested, check it out. It's cool. And man, that's some a lot of freaking gold. You see gold bars every week there. But oh, what was I gonna say, Ronnie? It was a good one too. Oh, you hear so many people who are talking about yard sales. They're like, it's important to be up early and get out there and hit those yard sales. Well, guess what? You can only be the first person at one yard sale. Okay. So while the whole idea of you want to be early to a lot of yard sales, but that doesn't mean that the good buys are gone after 2 hours. I mean, like Ronnie was said, you could do it all day. At 2 o'clock, there can still be a deal to be made at a yard sale. And pretty much all you have to do is pick. You can only be first at one. You can't be first at two unless you split up like Ronnie. Yeah, you guys split up. I've seen you guys do that.
Sometimes you get up too early too. Or you get to a place too early and they didn't put everything out yet. And you know, you already left, and then they're putting out more stuff as the day goes on. I mean, I've been at places at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and I'm watching them put stuff out. You know what I mean? Still bringing stuff out. They're like, oh, stuff was selling fast. So I knew I had more stuff, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, Richard Vargas. What do you carry around? Batteries, phone for sure, water. What else? Dude, we just went over the whole kit that we have.
I don't drink water in the morning because then I have to find somewhere to go pee. So I like don't try to drink like when I leave the house for a few hours.
Question. Oh, I got a question, because so many of us have been in this situation. And I want to, it's a yes or no. We don't have to hear any, ew, gross, no. But have you ever gone to a yard sale and asked them to use the restroom because it was kind of an emergency? I mean, you know, sometimes you're like, no, I wouldn't typically do it. But we've all been in those positions before. How many of you? Yes, no, ever asked a stranger to use their restroom? It happens when you're out.
Have you?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I can admit it. I'm not going to lie about it. Everybody's saying no.
I've never done it. I just think that would be like
no
way
way
over the top.
I don't know about you, man, but if I didn't, I would have crapped my pants. Yeah. Not a single person has said no. I guess I'm the only honest one here.
I guess.
Estate sales, yes.
Dude, most of the time the state sales, you can't.
The water's turned off, aren't they? The water's turned off.
I've been in state sales can be iffy in the summer because you know they have the windows open and everything. Too many people in a place, it gets warm in a lot of estate sales with all the bodies in there.
We got a number. We got one yes. Jim James and junk. Yes. Man, you guys must not have issues like I do, man, because sometimes there's no way I can make it. There's no way. And you're like, shit. Yeah.
Uh,
That's one thing I don't carry in my car is a porta potty.
porta potty.
Yeah. I go
Travel
on the
around in an
side.
RV.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about taking a whiz, man. I'll do that freaking anywhere. I don't care. No, I'm talking about I wouldn't ask somebody to use their bathroom to take a whiz. Okay.
But you dropped the deuce.
I would
Somebody
not
else is gonna.
typically I wouldn't typically ask somebody to do that. I'm talking in an emergency. Yeah. Uh,
Uh, uh, that's messed up, man.
dude, that's the truth, right? I mean, okay, so you made the point you would crap your pants. I would rather not, you know. Hope you left a quarter. Yeah, I was like taking a towel. And then I'd go to flush the toilet and the toilet's broke. Yeah. Yeah. No, it happens. I'll say it gross, Bill. Reminds you of the scene with Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, that's what I was trying to oh, oh, guys, real life. I mean, yeah, girls don't fart either, right? Okay, Ronnie, it's your turn.
Um,
Hope he bought some.
another thing I do too is also I check the local newspapers sometimes like the day of the sale just to see, or I'll go online like early in the morning when I get up because I'll have my route planned for the next day. But not, we live in an area where there's a lot of older people on the Cape, and a lot of them don't use Craigslist. They don't use, the local newspaper is still the thing they use, so you won't find them on Craigslist. So sometimes I'll see if there's any like, because I'm kind of, I've lived here long enough now and it's a small enough area that if I see a road, I'll have an idea of how far it is, maybe on the route or something like that, and I can squeeze it in or not, you know. It just depends on what it says. I mean, most of the time they're so vague and so like, but certain keywords I like, especially for yard sales, like electronics, video games, designer clothing really doesn't work because it depends on everybody's thing of designer. You know, I've been to people designers Nautica and Calvin Klein. It's like, I
Yeah.
guess you buy it at the mall, but how much longer are the malls going to be in business before they all close down?
I don't know. I don't go to the damn mall. Somebody said I'm drinking a girl's drink.
Well,
These were
yeah,
in the fridge, and I didn't have any beer, and I didn't want to go out. So there's
that's
only
a
a
gross.
couple. So I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah,
Smearing off ice? I don't know.
I'd say so. Well, you can follow that up with a Zima.
Yeah. Chad, any more of that military stuff sell? Was blown away with what you were getting for that stuff. Yeah. I'd sold that shirt for 300 and I sold another lot of a shirt and a hat and a garment bag for no, I sold the shirt for 250 and I sold that little lot for 300. Yeah.
Well, you found
Yeah.
the right guy that wants them. You know,
Yeah. He was a return buyer of the earlier stuff. So yeah, when you get really hard to find stuff like that, don't hesitate to, if you find something else, don't hesitate to reach out to one of your buyers you've had in the past. He was grateful I did. And I was grateful because he pays up. Let's see. Oh, I was gonna say something about what you had said. Yeah, I can't remember. Um, I can't remember. What was your last tip you just talked about?
I talked about, I
Oh,
wasn't going about poo-poo and the bang. Look in the newspapers.
I know. I know.
I just told you.
This is a shot in the dark, but it has worked for us before. If you find a yard sale that, like in the paper or on your garage sale app the night before or something, it's a shot in the dark. But many times we've reached out to them and they've allowed us to come in the night before. So it's a shot in the dark, and most of the time people say no, but it has happened to where we were able to get in the night before. And we always say we're buyers and we're looking, and we wouldn't have asked if we didn't see see stuff that we liked. So, and if you're gonna have them open up for you, then you might be paying a little bit more than what you would the next morning. So you don't want to beat them up too bad. Have you ever been able to get in early?
Like I said before, I've been able to go and pick stuff up, but never into a. I was able to get into a estate sale early, but that doesn't happen too often. I'm like an hour before actually everybody else was able to get in, and I was actually leaving. The lady had me leave through the back door because the line at the front, you can't be seen coming in and out. But that hasn't happened. I don't think people were too thrilled when I got stuff that they were probably waiting in line for. But for the most part, I don't get to go to anybody's yard sales early on.
See, I'm testing the water with somebody right now. Somebody asked about OfferUp. I've got that Batman Mego listed, and people are just hee-hawing around. Hi, is this still available? I said, yes, it's still for sale. Your best price. And I'm like, 300's a steal. So I'll see what he comes back with, because I'm that guy that I want to hear the first number, even though I'm the seller. Just because you're the seller doesn't mean you have to give the first number. So my first number is 300. That's what I have it for sale for. Let's see. Oh, this is just my recommendation, but be pleasant. Talk to the people having the yard sale. If it's only good morning, every single yard sale we leave, we always look them in the eyes and say thank you. And always, whether we buy something or not, there's always, and typically if I'm buying something, then I'm really talking to them because I'm wanting to create that the words not a bond. What are you shaking your head about? Are you getting
No,
oh
no, I just sold some things. I just sold three
oh
things to the same buyer for over $500. I was just
yeah,
working out a deal.
woohoo. But yeah, look at talk to the people, yeah, rapport, opening the lines of communication. And man, a lot of times they'll volunteer information. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard, yeah, this is my wife's aunt stuff. We're kind of stuck with it. We're trying to get rid of it. I mean, that's the stuff I want to hear, or I mean, people will volunteer information as long as you open up the dialogue. Some people are just itching to talk to you, but they won't unless you say something to them. So always walk up, say good morning, or even if it's busy, good morning. How's it going today? You making any sales today? And typically we say thank you and good luck with your sale and all that stuff. So yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of it just depends. But I gotta go somewhere where yard sales are more year round.
Yeah.
We have a very short window. It's like maybe 20 weeks, maybe. And then I get pissed like week of graduations is like 2 weeks in a row back to back where most of the schools around us will have graduations. It's like 2 weeks just disappear. It's like, no, I want those. Or if it's real hot, I'm like, we'll have a heat wave. It's like 90 degrees, which is warm for us. Like on a weekend, people won't set up. It's like, oh, come
Yeah.
on, got prime season here. What do you mean?
Yeah. Jams, Jams, and Junk says introduce yourself by name and ask theirs, then remember it and use it in a conversation later. That's a really good um, advice, but some people way overdo it because that's taught in marketing. Okay, that's taught in marketing. It becomes personal when you're using their name. I've been marketed to, and they're like, "So, Chad, what do you think about this? Isn't this great, Chad? Oh, Chad, hey, Chad, Chad," and they think it's become that doesn't work. That is fake as shit. While it's important to use their name, that shows a personal connection. Marketers and salesmen overuse that aspect. It's interpersonal communication. And by using their name, it sets off these things in their brain and acknowledgement and everything else. So, but yeah, it gets on my nerves when it's overly done, especially somebody that doesn't know you. Okay. And it's bad. So you can really screw that up, but you could really use it to your advantage by, um, and I don't typically walk and say, "Hi, my name's Chad. What's your name?" It normally comes a little bit later, like you'll get them to tell a story or something. You're like, "Oh, by the way, I'm Chad." You don't have to say, "What's your name?" They'll say, "Hey, Chad, I'm John." That's how it's a smooth flow. Don't push it. Just let it come naturally. Um, and I speak from experience. I mean, we've done this for years, so I didn't read a damn book last week, and now I'm coming on saying, this is what you have to do. So it's just our experience.
Wait, you're not gonna write a book about? We can write a book about yard sales. What else?
Kim asked me if I wanted a sub.
Oh,
Oh, that's another thing that can be done. You can use your partner if you're there with somebody else to work a sale, and typically Kim and I go different directions. I could get a text message, and that's what reminded me. Sure.
yeah. I mean, we do it all the time. Like I said, she'll shield me from things. Or the recent thing is if I'm looking something up, I'll have her hold on to it or just hold it. That way she has possession of it.
Yeah.
Because with a smartphone, I mean, you could look up stuff so quick. It's like within a matter of minutes, I mean, or a matter of seconds. I mean, you could see if something's valuable or not. It's not really, just get an idea of what it's worth.
Dude, I've been to garage sales in the past, and I've looked something up on eBay, and I've found that exact freaking item sitting on the exact same freaking table in the garage, listed on eBay. Yeah, I've seen it. Yep.
What drives me crazy is the eBay printouts or the
And then
Amazon
they
printouts.
print their listing out at their freaking price that they have listed on eBay that they're asking, not sold. But yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't seen that one, but
that's stupid.
I
I
usually, if
hate
I see that, I just turn around. I don't even mess around too much.
Man,
because
I
it's
love
just
it.
it's hard to
I
deal with
love
those
it
kind
when
of
people
people.
say, "Well, it's sold for $80 on eBay." It's like, well, why aren't you selling it on eBay then? Because they're not selling for $80 on eBay.
I don't want to ship it. That's the one that you always get back. I don't want
Yeah.
to ship that. But you want me to
Well,
ship it?
yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm
No.
using the shit out of. I used this the other day because people are talking about how because I need my spread, my margin. And I'm like, yeah, eBay's trying to get everybody to do free shipping and free returns. It's going to do the cost of doing business more. So I'm not going to be able to make near enough profit. So I'm going to have to pay less for my items. Oh, yeah, I'll use that, even though I'm not doing free shipping or free returns. But I'm not lying when say eBay's trying to get people to do free shipping and free returns. So, but yeah, I'll use it. Let's see here. When I have a yard sale, I just want to get rid of everything. Yeah, there's some people. There's a guy that had a yard sale with a bunch of video games. I think I told you about this, Ronnie. And it's like, dude, do you even want to sell these? He goes, well, these are my copies. I'm like, okay, well, you haven't priced like they're your prized possession. I said, how much you want for all of it? When I see people like that are really stuck on their stuff, I'll ask them, what do you want for all of it? And they just trip over themselves. Oh, there's no way. No, no. I'm like, and they'd be like, that's a lot of money. I'm like, what's your number? They would never, because they don't want to really sell the stuff. I mean, they're in love with it and they're just hoping that somebody will come and pay higher than stupid going price for it. And it just, I don't know. They're throwing shit against the wall and hoping something sticks.
Yeah.
That's my typical. Whenever everything's stupid high, but it's decent stuff, I'll say, "What do you want for all of it?" Whether I got the money or not, I'll ask.
Yeah, like somebody said here that the professional garage sales where every week they have one, same crap, same overpriced stuff. Here, I don't think you can do that. I think most towns they only allowed you to have 2 yard sales
Yeah,
a year, and they keep up after it. Like they'll have people. I've heard, my wife did a yard sale last year with a friend. I guess somebody from the town actually stopped by to ask them if they had their permit. I was like, oh, I didn't think people would, you know, do
yeah.
that. But
Well, we have people here that are couponers, and it looks like a damn drugstore. It's got makeup, it's got shampoo, soap, all that kind of stuff, and there's not a single. But they list it as a garage sale, and I hate pulling up to those. I'll pull up and I'll see it's like, oh my gosh, couponer, let's go. But yeah, how many of you guys recognize a couponer's yard sale when you pull up without even getting out of your car?
dude, if I see a lot of baby stuff, I keep moving.
Yeah,
Like do the drive by. And that's another thing you too. When we pull up the yard sales, especially if it's hot, the AC stays on. My window will be down. I keep the truck running. I
yeah,
don't even turn it off. I'm not turning off my truck off and on, 40, 50 times in a day. It'll get crazy. With the excursion, I was always worried because of the brake lines and stuff like that. And I had an emergency brake issue with that thing. I parked that thing on a hill. I think it's like a tank. I think it started rolling. Forget it. Nobody's stopping that thing. Another
yeah,
thing that drives me crazy is also when you go to a yard sale and you go into like that house and all of a sudden you're like, we've been here before, and you knew you didn't find nothing there. You're like, oh, do I even want to get out of the car? You get out of the car, it's like, oh, I swear to God, they rolled the same shit out they had last year.
yeah. Are
Donate
there,
it.
is there anybody in the chat that just does not do yard sales? So if you're in the chat and you do not do yard sales, type no. And what I mean, yard sale, garage sale,
Tag
um,
sales,
tag sale,
rummage sales. Would that be considered?
yeah, it'd be the
Oh,
same thing.
it's like a Krillin actually gave us a super chat way a long time ago. I think Krillin. Just remember it now. We
Oh,
were
thank you,
in
Krillin.
the middle of chatting away and
Ronnie's going to share that shit with me.
didn't want to interrupt you. Hey, you can buy some chiclet with that dollar.
No, no. Hold on. Those people are saying no, they don't go to garage sales. Okay, let me ask you. Okay, I see Pickers, Edward Lamborghini, Midel 523, and Michelle Lathon. Can you type in there why you don't? I mean, you could say, well, I'm not a reseller. I mean, and that would make sense. I'm just assuming everybody here's a reseller. So, what's your reason why you wouldn't go to a yard sale? I mean, there's a lot of people in society that just will not do yard sales, but
I think
typically
for
not in
me,
the
yeah,
reselling
for me it's
community.
just for me it's just to take a break from going to thrift stores all the time, especially in the summer. Summertime thrift
Oh,
stores
okay.
die up a lot.
Okay. Daniel says no, but he sells at them. I'm 100% liquidation now. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're a retail arbitrage or something like that, it really makes sense. Waste of time. A waste of time for you. I'm not good at haggling. I'd rather just do my thing and not deal with people. Well, you don't have to haggle to go to a yard sale. I don't have time. Don't seem to have the spot experience to price items. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it takes time. It takes time. But always remember the one thing I tell people, if you've never been to an auction, don't go to an auction and buy something. Go first 2 or 3 times. Don't buy anything. Just soak it in what's happening and look around and watch. You don't have to buy.
Dude, at my first auction, I jumped right in. Bought a bunch of signs. I went a little overboard. I was like, hey. Well, I realized it was only me and another person, or three people, really bidding on the Coca-Cola stuff, as everybody else was there for the duck decoys. It was like 200 plus duck decoys. It was unreal. It was like, oh, cow, duck
See,
decoys.
Bunny just said, rarely. I live in a small town and there isn't much money here. The city charges $40, so not many people have them. I have better luck at the auctions. Okay. See, when you say something like that, I'd be like, there is opportunity out there for me. Okay. If there's a city or a town that's either not allowed to have yard sales or it costs a fortune to have a yard sale, dude, I would be passing my cards out everywhere at the restaurant. I buy stuff. Hey, I buy, sell, trade. I buy. And they don't have to pay you to come and buy their stuff like they would have to pay to have a yard sale. I would be all over that. I would take advantage of that like crazy.
Yeah, a lot of
Where
people are just saying that they just don't. They're not that great where they are, but I mean, I've been all over, like where my parents live in upstate New York. We've went around there. It's just, I don't know. There they have a lot more like people that have yard sales. Be like a whole farm. It's actually, you have the barn to go through. It's almost like a estate sale in a way. It's like, oh yeah, anything. You know what I mean? You never know what you're gonna find in some of those places. They
well
don't
what
put
I've
pictures up or anything.
well what I have found, and I think is a big misconception, is that only rich people have good things. Okay. And that's just not true. That's just not true. Um, I would say most of the people that we deal with and we buy stuff off of are middle of the road or, you know, that area or lower. And there's always good stuff out there. And I think it's just a big misconception that only rich people have good things. Yeah, Rusty Raccoon says poor people have great things. You're right, dude. You're right. You're right.
I mean, we found we found stuff all over the place. I mean, sometimes going to a place more pricier, like a pricier community
Sure.
where, I mean, we found that those places are sometimes harder because people ask arm and a leg for they kind of more know what they have and they're not letting anything go away for a cheap price. You know, and
Yeah.
other times they just want to clear a house out. They just want to clear their garage out. It doesn't matter the price, you know.
Sure,
But
I've gotten good stuff off of rich people, but rich people aren't the only ones that have good stuff. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that too, like people like video games or like it'll be a wedding gift they got. It's been
Yeah.
sitting for 3 4 years, and they just want to move it, and it's new, sealed in the box. I mean, that's where a lot of the stuff that I get goes to Amazon. You know, it's where I fill my Amazon up over the summer most of the time. Sealed games, I find them all the time at yard sales. You know, a few dollars, and I've sold games upwards of $200 on Amazon.
Yeah, and I want to make this disclaimer again. What you're hearing tonight are our opinions and our practices and our thoughts on how we address things, how we do things, and it's not written in stone, but it's stuff that's been tried and true for us over the years. So, and same with Ronnie. We wouldn't be on here spouting this stuff if it didn't have some type of uh, success for us. So in Long Island, everyone's moving to Florida and needs to get rid of everything. That is typical. That's why down here, what we say down here is all the old money is up north because 90% of the people in Florida are former Northerns. Most Southerns are Northerns. So what happens is before they retire and move down to Florida, they sell off their estate. They sell off all the vintage antiques and all that stuff because they want a simpler life. And by the time they get to Florida, all the good stuff is staying up north. That's why we always say all the old money's up in the Northeast around where Ronnie's at. That's where it was colonized first. And stuff has stayed up there. Most people don't bring all that stuff when they retire. They sell it off.
I mean, me and Rudy went. Was it last year? No, not last year. The year before, we went out for the day, and like we thought we didn't do that great. And then when you start looking over some of the stuff we picked up, it's like, oh, it wasn't really that bad of a day. You know, I still got stuff from. Well, I still sell one thing. I think I picked up like 20 or 25 or I don't forgot how many of these Stone Cold Steve Austin
Mm.
wrestling T-shirts. They were the same shirt, the same size. The guy was like $5 each. I'm like, how much for all of them? That one, it's like I forgot what I paid, 40 or 50, but it was a mess of them. And they sell here and there. Anyway, I'll take offers anywhere from like 25 to $40. Move them, sell them.
Damn.
But hope you guys like the show tonight. Make sure that hit the notification, the little bell thing down below. A lot of people say they haven't been getting notifications of the channel lately. Google's been doing some weird things, or YouTube, so
Yes.
it's been odd. Or I'm not showing up in their chats. That was, I mean, in their video feed. I'm like, I don't know. I can't help you with that.
Yeah, it's because YouTube decides whether or not you would like it or not, even if you're subscribed to them. If you don't have the notifications turned on, then there's a good chance that they won't even put Ronnie in your subscriber feed. So if you want to know when your favorite YouTuber and any of your YouTubers are on, hit the bell button and you'll get notified.
Yeah, the hanging lamp is not going anywhere. That's the wife's thing. That's not going anywhere. I was lucky to sell the Coke sign, but I got a really good price, and we have another one. So it wasn't like we had to get rid of. We had three at one time, three 4-foot buttons. Had a 3-foot button and a 16-inch button. So I mean, we had to move a few of them. I mean, if we're gonna do our thing this fall, we can't be having all this stuff. That's too
Yeah.
much stuff. I gotta move some of it. So if someone gives me a good price, and somebody asked how we shipped it, I literally it got put together. It was two bicycle boxes that got telescoped together to make the sign was 48 inches round. The size of the box became 50-50 by 6, and there was foam board in the front of it. It got protected, being wrapped twice in moving blankets that we picked up from where the hell do we get moving blankets from? What's that cheap hardware store? Harbor Freight. They have moving blankets that are really cheap.
Yes, sir.
And it shipped it right off the FedEx shipping online. Sent me like $120 too, or to eBay. Someone said, "Here, we'll end the show on this. What was your most profitable yard sale item that you picked up?"
I would say a chess set. And the only reason why I'm thinking of that, there's
Just
probably other, but that's because of Lonnie. And I bought that electronic chess set. Remember that? And it was like $400 or $500.
You had what about that dice set? Did you make enough on that?
Oh
The die
yeah.
set, I mean die set.
Oh yeah.
That was a yard sale thing too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was like $700.
I'm
I
trying
was
to think
wanting to get
what
a
was.
grand for it. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. I was just chess that came to my mind. So
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my bigger finds have come from estate sales or thrift stores. There was a Louis Vuitton, older vintage Louis Vuitton bag we picked up. I think we paid 75 and we sold it for like 425 or 450.
yeah, I
But I
mean
remember it
estate
was,
sale.
huh? No, that was at a yard sale.
Yeah.
At a estate sale, I did pick up that Griswold frying pan.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think we do best on estate sales typically.
We get more. You can get more bang for your buck if you go to the right. Like like we will luck out twice a year probably on an estate sale where they don't advertise, clothing, and I'll just look at the pictures and notice like a lot of men's suits or something. I'm like, usually somebody that has usually 20 or so men's suits, they're not cheap suits usually. They usually, and you look up the house, and see what area the house is in, the night before they'll put the address. I'll start Googling what the address of the home is and seeing if it's for sale, see what it's sold, see how long they lived there. You go through the information they have. And, all that helps.
Yeah.
And, I've lucked out, because they're not advertising clothing. And if they're not advertising, most likely they just want to get rid of it, get it for really good prices. I mean, that one we went to like 4 different days over back in October. I mean, I just sold that printer from there for $300, $320 or so. Paid $40 for that printer, and we had to seal Nintendo games and everything. Everything was so cheap. It was like, what is going on here? But the clothing, they were giving the clothing away.
Nice. I remember I don't even remember how much I got for that pony coat. Remember the pony coat?
You didn't get nowhere close to it. I think
Oh,
you
I
got a
know. Yeah,
few
that was like,
hundred.
yeah, yeah.
I think you
No, I
wind up
know it
only.
wasn't my max. I know it wasn't my max, one of my max, but it was one of the neater things I found. I was
Yeah,
thinking, what are some of
that
the
was really.
neater
I mean, it
things?
was a really cool thing. You got that at a yard sale.
Yeah,
I remember it. I remember the offer, and I remember you get a lot less.
yeah, yeah. I think it was only $200 or $300 I got for it.
Yeah, I mean that's like one of those things where you just kick yourself because you have something that you think is so much more,
Yeah,
or you have that feeling you really think you want to get more. I mean, I just sold those 3 Reebok pump sneakers I picked up the other day. I just picked those up and sold them, and the guy knows that they may be um, dry rotted. You know, they may not be suitable for wearing because
Yeah.
they're 23 years old. It's like I put it in the thing. We worked on an agreement, a price, and sold them.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's the same person I think that tried getting them off of me off of Instagram. I got to see the address because I have a feeling it's the same guy. He disagreed to one price that he comes back, and we basically agreed at the price that we started off with. I just have to pay eBay fees on it now. It's like, but whatever. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But any last words?
Just go out and have fun, man. We like yard sales because they're fun. We enjoy doing it. Oh, and that's another thing I think is really important. Kim and I, we're not the type that we're not, okay, we got to get this. Oh, we got to leave. We got to get to the next one. We got to get the next one. We got to get it. I mean, we're not like that. We enjoy the journey. And while some people just can't take the time to stop and smell the roses, we enjoy the journey, you know, talking to people, looking at things, talking about history of things. It's the journey for us. And the money's good too. So, you know, it's got to be what works for you, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, just have fun. Just do what you do. Enjoy it. I mean, it's always the weird. I mean, one of the most expensive things, actually, I just seen Sam Dallas in the chat, was those postcards that he bought. I think I got those at a yard sale.
Oh, he's the one that got all the postcard. Dude, he got a kick-ass deal on those.
Sam, how have you been doing on the postcards? Some of you
Have you
got some of
listed
them
them?
listed.
Have you listed them?
And I didn't even get any of the money for that. I donated the money.
Yeah, mess with Ronnie and tell him you sold one for $1,250 or some shit.
That'd be awesome if he did, though.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. He's made 1.4 million on them. Oh man, looking at that tonight, we're ending the show tonight with 4,323 live viewers. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. And don't forget to hit that like button if you liked what we talked about. We appreciate it.
Sam, your death pile is looking
Not
very
yet.
high priced.
Sam, how much do you want for those? Hit me up. Hit me up. I bet you Ronnie might buy those back.
Nah, I'm good.
Ah, man, I don't know.
All right, everybody. See
Yeah.
you guys later. Have a good night. Remember, hit the like button, dislike button, thumbs up, comment, whatever. See you guys later.
Thanks.